Everyone's good. Okay, so this past weekend, me and my team, we went to a tournament in the Bay Area, and we were having problems on my team because one of my teammates, she felt like she was like out of place or whatever. She felt like, because she wasn't getting along with some of our teammates, and she wasn't getting that much playing time. So she was like, you know, Mel, because I'm the captain, she was like, you know, Mel, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, like, I think I should just quit. And I was like talking to her, and I was like, you know, just telling her, you know, just keep working hard, like we've ran so much already, like don't give up now, stuff like that. And I said something that was like, I guess pretty effective. I don't remember exactly like verbatim what it was, but it was like something along the lines of, you know, just keep working hard. And then like right after I said it, I stopped to myself and I was like, dang, like that was a good piece of advice. And then I think she noticed it too, because, well, she did notice it, because she was like, thank you for that, like where did you hear that? And I was like, that was me. I came up with that one. And like real life, like it brought some like joy to, you know, what was happening. But my quote is, I often quote myself, it adds spice to my conversation. Like that's what I did, and it added spice. But I think what this quote means is, like generally speaking, that bringing a bit of yourself to all your situations, it helps to like make people happy, you know, it helps, like spice things up, you know. So I think it can affect like everyone when you bring some of yourself to like different situations. So I think this is applicable in a lot of areas. The examples that I have would be in work, in school, and just like your daily interactions with everyone. So in work or school, I think I'm gonna start with work. So you know how you go to like a job interview and you're sitting there, like you're looking all cute, you know, looking all like fancy, and you're sitting there and they're like, what can you do for us? Or like how, basically just trying to sell yourself, like what makes you different. So like you don't want to be like, oh, I went to school, you know, like I did this, I did that, I did this, that, something that everyone did. Like you want to make yourself different. So like you just tell like things that make you, you know, stand out. Like your personality, you let your personality shine, because like the quote says, it adds spice, and that makes you more appealing. In school, I think a good example would be like when you're doing projects kind of in the same way, you want your project to be like different from everyone else's, because your teacher is like grading the same thing. So if they see yours and you bring something different to the table, like you'll probably get a better grade. Not all the time, but you'll probably get a better grade. And finally, in like day-to-day interactions with people, like I said when I was talking to my teammate, just you bring your personality, because everyone's different, you know, we all know that. So you bring a little bit of yourself to like different conversations, like maybe even just the way you walk down the street, like you're just like, hi, or just like, you know, just like carrying yourself in a way that represents yourself. It can help someone else out, or like just make someone's day, you know, and just walk by someone and smile. So I think it's a good thing to like express yourself in different areas, or just the way you carry yourself. It'll help you and other people in the long run. Did you hear my blink? Yeah, I got it. I was like, that was the intro. Yeah. The first one, I didn't know if you saw it.
All right, the personal story at the beginning is fine. It does go on for a little while. You do want to, I know that you're using the volume of your voice to kind of indicate, you know, a little irony, a little sarcasm about your own opinion in those situations. So I appreciated that, but sometimes it drops out a little more than you want it to, and I think you need to kind of keep us engaged a bit and not pull out and kind of put on a different persona too much. Just a little bit should be able to get you across that line. It does sound like you're rushing a little bit, so you want to be careful about that. There was a preview at the beginning of the speech, but in the body of the speech I couldn't really detect that there was a particular structure that you're following. You have a couple of good examples to talk about, and it gives you a few things to say about the point that you're trying to get across. which I thought was fine. Your gestures, you have one spot where you're actually doing a little bit of demonstration as a way of illustrating a point. I like that. There's a lot of energy in the presentation, but sometimes it comes out in the gestures being repetitive and a little exaggerated, so you do want to be careful about that. But like I said, the one section where you're actually doing the demonstration, that seemed much more purposeful and planned. Everything else is pretty standard. I think you're doing a good job on most things. Maybe you're standing off to the side a little bit more than you want. I think that's a little problematic. Well, what happens is people put the topic down on the desk and then that's like their comfort zone. It's like, that's my security blanket. Like the topic is going to rescue you somehow, and it's not going to change what it was. So you want to be careful about that. All right, thank you.